Hey guys, time for another game review, and this time it's Dark Souls with guns. So I played Remnant 2 for the last couple of days, and the first thing I will do in this review is to talk about the things I loved, and at the end of the video I will talk about the not so good things about this game. I also want to mention that I have never played Remnant 1, but when choosing the difficulty for this game, I went with Veteran because I do love challenges. And I was very happy with my choice because it did give me a challenge, but it was never too hard to the point of being frustrating. It took me 27 hours to beat, and I tried to cover almost everything in the maps of the 5 worlds in this game. The first thing I want to talk about is the story because, as usual, it's something I normally don't pay too much attention in video games. But I did went through most NPC dialogues and read quite a few books. The NPCs in this game look really cool, but they use very expensive words, as we normally say in Portugal, and for me it was challenging to keep up because my English is alright, but there were many words I have never even heard in my life. The idea I got from the story is that we are like Neo in the movie Matrix, we are an anomaly and only us have the power to change the world. There are even some areas that reminded me of the movie, like this one right here, and the final area reminded me of the end of Matrix Revolutions. As for the areas in this game, we have a main area with tons of NPCs where we can level up our gear and buy items, and also another 5 worlds where enemies and bosses are randomized, which means every time you die, enemies will be in other places and you might fight a completely different mini-boss that you fought just 2 minutes ago. This resulted in me fighting around 30 bosses but only killed 25, because due to randomization, if you die to a boss you might never see it again. My first world was Nerud, and it was easily my least favorite, even though it had 3 cool bosses and one of my favorite quests. In Nerud everything looked very similar and it felt like I was either killing a million robots or a million of these guys right here. After Nerud, things got way better as I went into the labyrinth and kept stopping over and over again to admire in awe the stunning beauty of this level. My third world was Lossum, and this place was like going to the streets of Yharnam in Bloodborne, and it was not only my favorite area in this game but also one of the best areas I played in any game ever. Yaesha came next, and it felt like I was sent into a forest in Pandora from the movie Avatar. Everything around here is gorgeous, and I love the sounds you hear while you traverse it. Root Earth was the final area of this game, and besides looking like the end of the movie Matrix, it also has some of the toughest and best bosses, so a pretty cool way to finish the game. As for the bosses in Remnant 2, I am very happy to say that they are very good. Labyrinth Sentinel was one of the most original bosses I fought in any game ever, Red Prince was one of the coolest visual spectacles, and the final boss was crazy hard and one of the best bosses I fought in any game ever. As for the soundtrack and sounds, I really love every time an enemy or a stronger enemy approaches, the game will give you a warning with a very specific sound, so you kinda know what's coming, and when it comes to my favorite song, it's hard to choose, but the final boss theme was pretty amazing. The gameplay for Remnant 2 is fast and fun, and on my PS5 it runs pretty smoothly. There are lots of weapons and you have a ton of stuff to change your character as you create your build. In fact, I think maybe there are too many things because honestly I finished the game without knowing what some things were for. As for things I didn't like in Remnant 2, it's impossible not to mention how incredibly slow it is to heal in this game. I mean, we are talking about Dark Souls 2 levels of slow, which resulted in a crazy amount of deaths as I was desperately trying to heal. The boss rush was also something I was not expecting. I mean, when I see the words boss rush, I think I will only fight bosses like in Sekiro. But in Remnant 2 they send you to an area to fight a bunch of enemies, plus a stronger enemy, plus a mini boss, and only then you are allowed to fight a boss. Even though I did fought bosses I've never seen before, I wasn't very happy with the concept. And to finish, the worst thing of them all. When I began playing Remnant 2, the game did not save my progress. I played for 3 hours, only for the game to say I've only played 42 minutes, and sent me back to this place. I played another 4 hours, thinking maybe I had to reach further or kill a boss, which was a very stupid idea, I admit. only to lose those 4 hours and be sent back to the same place again, which almost made me quit the game. If this happens to you, the solution for me was creating a second character, and finally the game started saving my progress. This was something extremely bad. In the end, Remnant 2 was a blast of a game with some really cool boss fights, a good soundtrack and very addictive gameplay, a game I highly recommend you trying. As always, thanks for watching the video and I see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.